pulls out a needle. This is to deaden the pain. Should open up. Now, a regular doctor giving you a shot will go, and that's it. Dentists don't do that. They go. And you're there. Then they want to talk to you. Do you ever do any fishing? Where do you usually go? Yes, I've been there many times myself.
Bill Cosby was the first comedian I was loyal to. From the first album of his I owned, which was on this magical thing called cassette tape, Why Is There Air? Sheer brilliance. His third album, recorded live at the Flamingo Hotel in Las Vegas, 1965. The bits about being 5 years old in kindergarten, driving in San Francisco, and of course, everyone knows why there's air to blow up basketballs and volleyballs with. I was a Cosby devotee long before the NBC show. I didn't watch many episodes of that sitcom because, frankly, I didn't find it that funny. By that time, Cos hit the big time, didn't need to play the clubs anymore. So the great stories about Fat Albert, his brother Russell, and the stories he told about his son Ennis that took on such new meaning years later, 1997, when at the age of 27, Cosby's only son was shot on the head during a failed robbery attempt, murdered in a carjacking attempt. The drug dealer who killed him didn't confess until 5 years later and escaped the death penalty he so richly deserved. Still alive today in the California prison system. A nation mourned with Cosby and his family. After all, this was Bill Cosby, a father figure to more than one generation.
He was such a nice guy.
I'm sorry to hear about your loss.
He was my hero.
Are you heading out to LA right now?
I felt it personally. He was like a part of your family.
He'd been with us for decades, and now this horrible thing had happened to this, as we saw it, this wonderful man.
I think that the outpouring of emotion in the wake of that terrible crime was, I think, indicative of our fondness for Bill Cosby in his role as the nation's father.
I miss my son, and I always will. You can't get angry with God. You can't go around and point to somebody and say, well, listen, he should have taken that guy over there. He's not doing anything if you really needed a life.
Bill Cosby's a very educated man who in his later years made a point of taking on black America, the ones who called him an Uncle Tom, for speaking out on controversial issues, often getting right to the point about so many black kids who didn't know who their biological parents were. And now parents were leaving behind potential generations of kids who grow up angry and take that anger out on everyone around them.
We look at these murders and find out why. And behind them, Dr. Poussant and I have found that it's because children are born and they're coming up and they don't have an idea of who clearly is the biological person, the father or the mother. Sometimes both. And this hurts.
Let me be brutally honest here. I know what goes on in the entertainment industry, big-time sports, and other walks of life where rich, powerful people, more often than you might be comfortable knowing, all believe they're above the law, that they can get away with anything, anywhere, anytime. And I know the reality of Cosby's Hollywood generation, how woven into their lives was the drug culture, the fun it provided, and the manner in which women were treated as meat and treats to be had and passed on. I didn't want to believe that Bill Cosby could be like those I knew existed, such a heinous, vile, lying, abusive, sexual predator that believed fame and money could excuse everything. But he is. Worse, he's not even man enough to own up to his crimes. I can't laugh at anything Cosby anymore. I've tossed all those recordings, and I'll do the same if I find more. Because despicable, serial, sexual molesters deserve absolutely no second chances. And there's just too many people telling the same story. Goodbye, Cos. You earned this. That's my opinion, telling it like it is. Rock on, true believers. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow on the fastest 60 minutes in news. This is The Hard Line.